everyone, welcome back to Sweet Yellow House. It's time for our weekly crafts, and in case I forget to tell you later, please subscribe and head over to our website and look to see if any of the items that you like today are on sale over there. So let's get started. I have 5 projects for you today, so we're going to start out with project 1, and this is called Not Your Same Old Bread Dough bowl. I've had this bread dough bowl for quite a while, and I just decided it was time to spruce it up. So I grabbed some of these handles from Hobby Lobby while I was there the other day, and I'm just going to add some handles to the sides of these. I think these handles were like about $6 a piece, so I'm just measuring it out and drilled some preset holes there, and then just found some screws that match the handles, and I just drilled those in. So I decided I wanted to spruce it up a little more by adding a transfer in, but the first thing I need to do is put some liquid patina down, because that material is very porous and soft, and I just didn't think the transfers was gonna stick to that well. So I found some transfer that I like from the Japanica IOD line, and I'm cutting that out. I'm cutting it fairly close to the outline because the bowl is very curved, and I want to make sure that I can get that down smoothly without a whole lot of wrinkles. So I got that down and just kind of smoothed it all out, and then I'm going to go back over it with the liquid patina and do a couple of coats. Since I'm going to have things that are kind of in and out of the bowl, I just want to make sure that they don't scuff up that inlay, that transfer that I have there. I was kind of getting sick of this bowl, but since I did this to it, I really like it. I think it kind of gave it a new look, but you know, with something that we all have around our house. Project 2 is Harvest Pumpkin Stack, and I have this, and I actually did the Dixie Belle copper patina treatment on this a while back, but I just never could decide what I wanted to do. So my first thing I'm going to do is remove this topiary that was there. It was kind of dated. It had like a metal rod through the middle of it, so I asked my husband to come and help me out by snapping that for me. So, and the next thing I needed to do was remove the awful foam that was in there that was so hard to do as well. So I just kind of gathered my elements here, and in case you didn't know, these are all kind of like fall-ish type or very fall items that I'm going to be doing. So I just grabbed this little wreath, and I'm actually going to remove it to just kind of thin it out a little bit, because I want to place it on the bottom and then have some going through the pumpkins. I stuck this red foam in there, but I never even ended up using it, and I totally forgot it was in there before then I realized it once I glued the circle that I'm cutting out right now. This is just a piece of cardboard there so that the wreath and the pumpkins have something to sit on. So I take my scissors and just puncture a hole in that, and just totally disregarding the foam that I didn't glue down in there, I just glued that to the top of there, to the top of the little urn there. So the next thing I'm going to do is glue down the wreath, and I'm just going to kind of position that so everything's kind of centered. And then I realized that this pumpkin was just very white, and so I wanted to kind of take it back. So I grabbed some of the folk art antiquing wax, and just with a paper towel, I'm just going over this, nothing fancy. I'm just putting it on and kind of wiping it back and working it into all of the little details that are on that pumpkin. Then I'm going to grab some Summer Crush from DIY Paint, and with that same paper towel, I am just going over that pumpkin and just kind of rubbing it on. The good thing is that you can actually see that antiquing wax underneath there, but then I decided that I wanted a little more depth to that, so I was gonna make some highlight there, and I'm grabbing this, I don't know what this is, a mustard color of some sort, and then I'm grabbing Fusion Chateau. I'm just using these particular paints because that's what I had to mix. It's not for any particular reason. So I mix those together, get a color that I like, grab a paintbrush and just kind of go in those crevices, and I'm just using my finger to kind of smooth that all out. And I actually thought I was done, so I went in and I went ahead and glued that down, but then realized I wanted some more color once I compared it to the darker smaller pumpkin that I had. So I grabbed 3 more colors, the Marquee and the Summer Crush again, and a little black acrylic paint, and I'm just gonna mix up some paint, a color that kind of goes with that smaller pumpkin, the red color that's on top. So I'm not trying to match it exactly. If I get close, I'm happy. So I'm just kind of winging it here. I'm not making a whole lot of paint because I'm not going to be really doing a whole lot. So I grabbed that same paper towel and I'm just rubbing it over the highlighted the top of that pumpkin there, and I'm just kind of looking at it, see if I'm close. I'm happy with it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. I just grab my glue gun, I run some glue in there, and then I grab those pieces that I pulled out of that wreath earlier, and I'm just gonna start sticking those in between the pumpkins, and also coming out from the stem on top. And that's how that looks there. I've had this urn for so long, and I really just did not know really if I wanted to keep that topiary in there or not. But then I saw these little pumpkins, and I had this wreath laying around, and I just thought, why not? Okay, I'm gonna do, I have a thrift haul that's super quick that I got from the Goodwill yesterday, but then I also have a haul from Hobby Lobby. It's mostly fall stuff. I didn't buy a whole lot because I literally have like 5 or 6 bins in the garage that my husband pulled down from the attic that is full of fall stuff. So I just picked up a couple of things that I felt like I probably needed, but I'm not, you know, I don't need a whole lot. Like I said, there's so many bins out there, and I still have to go through that. But I will show you some of the stuff as I'm going through that, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I have. A lot of the stuff that I have, I see as far as like, let's get back to our project. So now we're going to head out to project number 3. And this is a little teacup basket that I thrifted about 2 years ago. And it's just kind of been roaming around the house. So I'm going to add a little piece of foam, floral foam that I got from Hobby Lobby, I believe. And I gathered up these little odd and end picks from the dollar store. I am going to set this little arrangement outside, so I really didn't want to use like super expensive flowers in this in case they got ruined or something. So I'm just going to start off by gluing that foam down, and then I'm just going to take those flowers and kind of cut off what I don't need and separate them out, and then just go and make some arrangement and just put it in. I'm not a floral arrangement kind of person, but I just kind of like did what looked good to me and something that I thought looked festive. So I tend to grab a lot of extra elements that you'll see that I don't use here. But that's just to give myself the option if I do decide and have choices to kind of fill in where I need. So, and then as I go, if I feel like I need more, then I'll grab some greenery or extra stuff here and there and add that where I feel that it needs to be filled in. Like I said, I grabbed this little teacup basket so long ago, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to kind of do something with it finally. And this little fall arrangement is just so cute, and I think it'll look so nice on my little patio table out front. Now we're going to head on to project 4, and project 4 is what I'm calling 2 wrongs make perfect. And I've had this candlestick forever and a day, and this I just thrifted a couple of days back, and I'm going to remove the sticker off that, and then I'm going to go on and I'm going to clean all the dust that's off this candlestick. I really love this candlestick. It's wood, it looks old, it's very vintage, and it's the perfect setup for a fall type of candle arrangement thing. So I'm gonna stick this on there a little bit differently. Normally I would glue, we would glue it, but I'm gonna actually use some UV resin to do it. And so what I do is I'm using my UV resin and the light, and I just put a really thin layer on here, and then you'll see me, I'm kind of moving it around just to make sure that that whole bottom is full. I stick that glass globe on top, and then I'm going to use my light. Here you see me bending it over, but I actually put it on the floor and then put the light on top of it and harden it for about 60 seconds, and then I put it on its side after that UV resin was already hard and finished curing it. So don't put it in there and then set it on its side, or it's going to kind of come out of there. You want to cure it, and then you're able to put it on its side and finish curing it if that's the way you want to do it. So that's how that turned out. Project 5 is something that is called putting salvage wood to use. I had four buckets. They were very shallow, and I had these for 2 or 3 years. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it, so I decided that I wanted to make these risers to put them on. And my first thought was that I was going to use them for like maybe outside planters for succulents. So I grabbed some scrap wood that I had from us, like tearing our part of our fence down, and then what you see me here cutting is just old closet dowel, hanging closet dowel that we took out of one of our closets. So I'm cutting legs for the circles, the piece of circle wood that I cut, and I made those about 8 inches. I just made them a little bit smaller than the bottom of my buckets. And here you see I'm just this gives you a better idea. I'm just actually smoothing that out with a sander. And then once that was all, they were all cut to different sizes, and the wood rounds were all smoothed out. Here I'm actually drilling holes, and I'm going to use screws to put that on. And that was only because I didn't have any brad nails for my nail gun, but I picked those up. So I did this first one like this, realized what a pain in the butt it was, and then switched to my brad nailers to do the other 3. So, but I just wanted to show that you could do it either way. When you use screws, I will say it's probably a little bit more hardy. So if you're going to use something like that, like this, if you're going to do something like this and set something heavier on it, I would definitely probably use screws with it. So that you can see here what the bucket looks like. It's really shallow. I'm showing you the bottom of what it's going to look like. And like I said, I had 4 buckets, and I made these little pedestals, but I made them all different sizes so they would tier. And this is how they turned out here. Don't go away, because I'm going to show you how I merchandise these. And I made these actually for my show that I have coming up in October, because I wanted like a kind of like a big centerpiece to put to attract people. And so this is how I merchandise these, and how I'm going to merchandise these for my show in October. These were so simple, but they came out so lovely. When you can merchandise something that you just took from scrap wood, pieces of scrap stuff, and and I will say I'm so proud of myself that I was able actually to learn how to use all of my tools, and get myself motivated and not afraid to use the tools that I've been so afraid to use and I've been putting off. So if I can do it, you can do it. So just be patient with yourself and just you know, use caution and just take your time. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked my crafts today, and I will see you soon.